All right, y'all. So I came back to the place and I saw the manager or whatever, because yesterday when I came, it was, first of all, it was raining hard, too hard. And then when I went in, they told me that I had came too late. And I went through a lot to get here yesterday, and I was just pissed off that as soon as I got here, it started raining. So they told me that they will let me know. So that's good enough for me for today. I'm gonna take my ass home because I had went to another club that I had just started working at, and it went well the first day, but this whole valet thing, I don't even know where to begin with it, because when I tell you the last high profile club that I worked at, or that's owned by somebody who's of celebrity status, their valet fucked up my car, and that's why I'm in this car. So I'm asking the people, when I went there today to work, I'm asking the people, where do I need to park so that you don't move the car? Because when I came out the first day, on my first day after I was done, and I made my little bag, made my a little something, and I saw that my car was moved, I'm like, okay. Because there was nobody in the fucking parking lot, so there was no need for them to move the car. And then when I got my keys were the only ones that were in the little case. So there's no reason for you to be moving my car other than the fact that you just want to get into a car that looks nice and move it around. So when I got my keys, I asked them, I said, what else do I need to do? Like seeing if I have to pay or anything like that. They was like, you're good. I'm like, okay. So I get there today and I'm like, where do I need to park so that you don't move the car? Well, the whole thing is valet. So, you know, if you give me your keys, I'm going to park you over there and it's free. But I'm going to be moving you in and out because we have cars coming in and out. You know, that's a hell no for me. And I'm going to tell you why. And then he was like, if you stay parked here, it's going to be $20 because this is paid parking. This is for the customers. So if you stay here, you have to pay. But you can keep your keys because I'm not going to be moving it. I said, okay, I'll pay you the $20. Because I do not, when I tell you valet from the other club fucked up my fucking car. First of all, my car was already 10 years old. And I've been through hell and high water with that fucking car. I drove up here to Georgia from Florida in that fucking car. And it already had problems under the hood. I'm up here by myself. I don't have a nigga right now. So I don't have time to be having to go back and forth to the shop. I've had my whole experience with going to different shops and I'm over this shit. I'm over this shit. So at this point, I don't want nobody putting this car in motion but me. Because guess what? If they fuck it up, they not finna confess that they fucked my shit up. So I'm asking them, where do I need to park the car so you don't move it? Okay? So they let me know. They told me that information. I said, okay. So I get out the car. I'm going to security for them to check it or whatever. Now, paying your tip in or whatever, your house fee, they expect you to pay it up front. Like, you can't be like, oh, da, 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 da. You can, but I'm new. So I came with what I needed to pay to tip in and to tip out. Okay? Because they didn't charge me the first day that I worked, I didn't think I was going to be paying for parking. So while they checking my bag, here come the damn valet person again, walking up. And they looking at me like, can I get... And I'm like, you just told me I don't have to give you my keys. I could pay you $20 to leave my car there. He was like, yeah, but I need the $20. I said, I have to make it. I don't have it right now. Bitch, I got to tip in. I got to pay house fee and tip out. I don't have that right now. Let me get my ass in the building so I can make the fucking money. And this is supposed to be some type of big day for them. So it's like, you supposed to be having people coming in. So I told them, I don't have it, I have to make it. Oh no, well you can't, you got to pay it up front. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, okay. I just like, give me a shit. And I just left. And I left because I'm not going to be going through a whole bunch of shit. I like to be prepared. I like to know what I have to do so that I can prepare for it. And when I come, I don't have no extra conversation with nobody. I don't want nobody in my face trying to tell me what to do about nothing if I'm already doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't have that type of temperament. So I just make sure that I have all my ducks in a row, all my stuff is put together, all my shit is on point, so that I could just easy breezy, beautiful cover girl and get my ass where I need to be when I need to be there. They telling me, if you don't want to pay it up front, then you can park somewhere else. I said, well, I'm not parking somewhere else, so I'll just come back. They was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm not going to work today. I'm not going to work today. I'm going to come back. So I get in the car, and I'm probably like 2 minutes. I drive off. I'm like 2 minutes out from the club, and I turn around because I'm like, I realized he didn't charge me the last time when I left. And I asked him, after I had made my money, I asked him, I said, what else do I need to do? And he told me, no, you're good. So when I came back, because I needed to make sure, and I didn't understand it at the time. So when I came back, I drove around. I said, let me make sure he's not trying to come up on a hustle for me. Came back, and I asked him, I said, hey, my first day that I worked, you didn't charge me, and my car was parked right there. I did notice that it was moved, but it was still parked in the front. What they had to explain to me is when they're parking the cars in the free area and they're moving them back and forth, when you're leaving, sometimes they will bring the car up to the front so you don't have to try to move your car all throughout, all the cars that they've already parked. So we was going back and forth a little bit for me to try to understand that, but then I understood that, and I'm like, okay. But now my question is, when I park right here, he said I don't have to give him my keys, but you're saying that I have to give him my keys. But then in the same token, you're saying that you can't tell him what to do because he's over the whole valet operation. So if you can't tell him what to do because he's over the whole valet operation, then when he says I get to keep my keys if I pay the $20 to stay parked in the customer's area, then why are you telling me I still have to give my keys anywhere I park in this area, or I have to go outside of the parking lot? So we was going back and forth over that. And my whole thing about that was this. I said, he was like, what's wrong with the $20? I said, it's no problem paying the $20. My thing is, I need to know what I need to do so I can have it ready for you. You're telling me I can't make the money and then give it to you. I have to pay it up front. But all I came with is what I have to pay these people. That's all I came with. And I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going to no bank to go get no more money. See, people think because you put yourself together and you take care of yourself, you do the best that you can, that you have everything that they don't have, so they get to just nickel and dime you on some shit. So when I came back, I had to make sure, are you charging me this time because you have a special reason, or you're charging me because that's what you were supposed to do and you just felt like not charging me last time? Because what's not finna happen is you just finna flimsy flopsy your thinking on what the rules are just because you think I got a whole bunch of fucking money. And I had to explain to them, I'm in this car because valet fucked up my other car. So after we got past that, and he was like, okay, well, whatever he says, because he's over the operation, he was like, I think you should still give him your key just in case you need to move it, but whatever he says, just go with that. And my whole thing is this, and I was getting frustrated with the valet guy who's supposed to be over everything, because he's saying, I'm just trying to help her. I'm not asking you to help me. I want to know what the rules are, because when you don't abide by your own rules, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to say, he said I can do this. I need to know what it is. And that's why they didn't want to tell me what it is. They want to tell me what they think it should be. But no, I need to know what it is. Because when I come back here and I have your $20, I don't want you putting your hand out for my keys, because I don't want you to move my car. The whole point of me paying is so the car is not in motion if I ain't in this bitch in the driver's seat. Like, I don't know what doesn't make any sense about that. Because guess what? If you fuck it up, you're not going to tell me you fucked it up. It probably will have to be some completely totaled for you to say that you fucked it up. And even still, you probably would not say that shit. But if it's any type of fucking damage, you're not going to say anything. You're going to try to brush that shit over just like they ass did. So I don't want them in this car unnecessarily. There's nobody in the fucking parking lot. Why do you need to move the fucking car other than the fact that you like the way that it is, you like what it can do, you like what it looked like. It looked like a nice car. That don't mean you get to play with it. I don't want you playing with shit I got to fucking pay for. I have to pay for this every month, and I got to pay for my fucking car that don't want to fucking move out of my goddamn parking lot. The fuck? I don't have time to be playing with their ass. So when I come back, that's what I kept telling them. When I come here, I want to know what I have to do. I'm not trying to be difficult, but I don't want to be in confusion. You understand? When you make clear and you clarify what's supposed to be, then you don't have to go through a whole bunch of ups and downs and backs and forths and around and rounds and, you know, you flip-flopping what you want to say and what you think should be. I don't have time for that, because you're not going to be able to do that with every single person. Because guess what? We all communicate. And then if you let somebody do this over here, then when they find out over there, because you ain't let them do that, because you don't like the way they look, or you don't like, you're going to have a problem on your hands. So that shit frustrated me. So I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Let me just go back, because they had told me to come over here. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just come back. I'm going to just come back another time, because I have to work. But I was like, since that shit happened, let me bring my ass back over here. And I saw the manager, and they did me a little body check or whatever, and they told me they'll give me a call. So I'm like, okay. All right, but now I know what I need to bring, and I don't expect any fucking confusion when I go back to the other club. So I'm gonna just take my ass home, because I don't want to deal with anything else. Okay. Alright, y'all. So we tried the other club that I was hired at, and I'm just getting ready to see what I made. The last money count that I counted, the little quick bag I made at the other club, that was my first day at the club. The second day that I went to that club was trash. I was so pissed. I changed clubs because I can't handle the sitting around that the girls be doing. And I'm gonna talk about it in another video, but I know why the girls are going through that, why it's so slow, but I'm gonna get into that in another video. But I can't handle that all the time. Like, every once in a while you have a day that's, you know, slow, or, you know, you waiting for it to pick up for you and stuff like that. But every time you come, you seeing the girl starving, and I don't have time for that. I've been through too much. So I bounce around until I find a place that's suitable, where they like movement, where they like motion. I can't stand when I go to a club and people just come and sit there and lounge around. Like, they really don't understand, in this generation, they really don't understand that the strippers are what make the strip club. If they really just want to sit and talk to each other, go to regular restaurants and lounges and bars and stuff like that. Because they be sitting here getting mad and disrespectful at the dancers for walking up to them to talk to them, not realizing that this is our job. Without us, it's not a strip club, it's just a regular club. So if you don't want nobody walking up to you to ask you for no dances or nothing like that, you need to stay your ass out the goddamn strip club. There's poles all over this bitch. That means we're here to work. The fuck? So I don't like that, but, you know, it is what it has been. But like I said, I can't stand that. I really can't stand that. So I've been bouncing around. So this is the second club that I got hired at. In that video when I was talking about Claremont Lounge, they was crazy and tripping too. They was just weird. That whole thing was just weird. But yeah, so I came to this club today, and I'm finna see what I made. I tipped out $30 from that, so I'm gonna see what the total was, and then I'm gonna try another day and see if it's just as good or if it's shitty too. But I don't like that. I need to see some type of consistency when I'm working at clubs. So I'm not where I want to be, where I can just keep moving around and bouncing around, and I'm exhausted. But anyway, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 200. I tipped out 30, so that's 230. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 236. That's how much I made on my first day at this club. Like I said in the other video, they gave me too much hoopla over the parking situation at the other club where I made the other bag, but I don't know, y'all. It's just too extra for me. It's too extra for me, but we'll see. I'm not really looking to look for no other clubs at the moment. Literally out here, I work at, or I'm hired at, so at any given time, if I want to ever renew my permits, I can renew all of them. I'm in good standing with all of them, so let me see. I'm hired at 8 clubs out here, but one of them I will never go back to because their mindset is not the mindset of the dancers is kind of like they think you're supposed to like submit to them type thing, and you find that at any club, but I haven't had to deal with that since I was in Miami, and that's a whole nother beast. That's something different because it always result to throwing hands, so it's like I'm not even on that level anymore. I'm not even there anymore with that. Up here is different. They're not that vigorous up here. So but I stopped going to it because it was like the DJing was whack, and the music that they was playing, it felt like the DJ was catering to what he wanted to listen to. He was saying like he was catering to the crowd, but it sounded like music he just wanted to hear. It was like literally, if you a hip hop head, like the old school hip hop, like the hip hop, the hip to the hip hop again, that type of hip hop, and where they're like extremely deep and lyrical, and like it's not a trap vibe at all. Not downing that type of hip hop or the true core of hip hop, but I mean, when you twerking type shit, you gotta keep in mind that if you as the DJ want to get paid from us, we have to make money. So you have to not only cater to the crowd and know your crowd, but you still have to make sure that the dancer is able to make the money that you claim you want at the end of the night. And the hip hop, the hip it to the hip hop is a little bit too far back to be playing all night long. I mean, you have your moments where you play some good R&B, some good, but you don't stay there because we hustling out here. So I would never go back to that club. And then the other ones, it's only one club out here that I worked at for over a year, and I'm at this point I'm not fucking with them because I had too many sexual incidents that happened, like people all trying to kiss on your back and shit, and trying to put their mouth on your pussy and stuff, and it's like, just throw the fucking money. You ain't never seen nobody bust it open before type shit, so I can't really handle that. So I stopped working there, and that's what led me to bouncing around to different clubs. I'm actually hired at 9 clubs, but another one I would never go back to is Candyland because they fucked up my car, and now I have 2 car notes, and I would never go back to them again. So, and then I think, and then they were stealing money. They were stealing money. It's like, there's no way you throwing all this fucking money. You threw 30,000+, and when I come back, then I gotta come back to come get my money. And then when I come back, you only giving me $500, or you only giving me $450. Like, something ain't right with that. And then you don't even have a set amount. When you have a list of girls that you have to ration the money out to, you don't even have a set amount of what we supposed to get. Ain't no way in the world all the money is always an even number. It's always $500, or it's always $350. Like, no. So I had to call the police, because the security guard, not only did they fuck up my car with valet, but then the security guard wouldn't let me go inside to get my fucking money. So what I told them, I said, okay, I called the police. And I told the police that is theft. They're stealing my money. They're talking about some come back to my... I don't have to come back. I already waited one day and had to come back to come get my money. I'm not waiting again. I ain't got no gas. I got to put gas in my car. I got shit I got to pay. So the police was like, well, they on their way. They sending somebody on the way. The security guard took their ass up inside, went and got my fucking money and brought it out. But the thing is, the reason why I want to go get my own money is because I feel like they took from what I actually made. Because I don't trust them. So I will never work at that club again. So really, I'm hired at 9 clubs out here. A couple of clubs, I know I have to change my appearance for me to work there, because I'm a natural body and I'm a slim body. I have an athletic type of body. So for the other clubs that I might think about working at, or that I have actually went to go see if I could get hired, I have to change my appearance for them to actually accept me to work there. But because ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm ugly. I ain't ugly now. But in order for me to work at those clubs, my ass either has to be like gargantuan and ridiculous for my size, or my appearance would just have to be like drop dead gorgeous. Like, I would really have to just step it up. You know what I'm saying? And right now, my main focus is not stepping it up for them to be like, oh, we want you to work here. You can work here now. I don't even got time for that, to be honest with you. I have stuff I have to pay for, and I have to make sure it stays, maintained, and not have any issues with that. So that's my main concern. So those clubs, I would have to be like, right. You know what I'm saying? But actively, right now, the only clubs that I would really dance at now, it's only 2 of them. It's only 2 of them, because the sitting around shit, I'm not handling it, and the customers constantly just wanting you to fuck, I'm not handling it. I had to tell somebody in this club today, because I walked up to them and they was getting ready to leave. I had seen that they was there for a little minute, because we kind of got there at the same time. And they, was talking and dealing with somebody for the whole time that they was there. And they was looking at me and they was like, they looked down, they was like, oh, you're thick. Now, like I said, I'm a slim woman, but I have a shape, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a huge ass, but I have a shape to my ass. Like, I have ass. So I have thighs, I have ass, I have hips. It's just not a BBL type of look. You know what I'm saying? They was like, oh, you're thick. They was like, yeah, you're a little slim thick. You're a little slim thick. And I was like, yeah, I got a little something. And I was like, why, you want to dance? They was like, no, I want a VIP. I was like, no, I'm trying to dance. They was like, no, he was like, no, you look like that. That's the type for you to go in VIP. I said, no, I'm a twerkaholic. I want to dance. I want to dance. He was like, wrong business. I said, no, let me tell you something. What you talking about that you want, let me tell you what business you want. You ever heard of a brothel? And they was like, oh, what? I was like, yes. Okay, so let me school you real quick. So a brothel is when you go to an establishment and a madam or a woman, she brings out all of her choice women for you to look at. And how you just said that I'm thick and it's for you to go into VIP for you to do your thing. No. What you would do is you would pick out the one that you like, In your case, you said that so you want somebody thick. So you choose out the thick one that you want, and then they have rooms for you to go to, and you pay for the fucking that you want. I said, that's the right business for what you asking for. I said, I have the right business for what I was saying. I want to dance. That's what this is for. This is adult entertainment. So they told me, I ain't need all that. I ain't need all that. I said, no, you needed that, and I just told you. And then I walked away. Like, don't tell me I'm in the wrong business for stripping. Bitch, stripping is not for fucking. It happens, but it's not for fucking. So anyway, that's that. And then yeah, so we're gonna see how everything else go. But I'm actively only probably gonna work at 2 or 3 clubs right now, even though I'm hired at about 9 of them out here, because there's either a problem with the drought, and like I said, I'm gonna explain that in another video, as one of the waves of the strip club that's going on right now that I'm going to get the fuck out of, because I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm not wasting my time on that. I wasted a lot of time because of how they're doing things now. And I'm gonna talk about that in another video, but not right now. That shit, that sitting around shit, I'm gonna tell you why y'all sitting around. Tell y'all ass why y'all sitting around. I'm gonna get back to that, but anyway, let me go. That's what happened today. $236. It's something, and I'm finna go pay some fucking bills.